All right. So I don't learn how to do little YouTube code words and shit. All right. Why did I say the title that I said? Because the conversations that I have been hearing lately, discussions, not discussion, mainly like it's still discussion, but like conversations. And what I've been listening to is black people are really waking up. Like this is waking up. This ain't that armchair revolutionary shit. Like the conversations of what this whole MAGA thing has done is it has opened up so much because it caused so much hurt. It's like Trump has broken everybody down to build them back up. It's like how I ended up doing the Black Woman's Guide, and I was like, the first one was Black Woman, the World Hates You. Remember, I said the first thing I said, and it's like these discussions are so in depth. They have so much meaning behind what's being said, and I'm loving it. And it's not doing anything to pull out books and history and give everybody a lecture. None of that shit. It's like, listen, we are a part of this country, whether you like it or not. And Trump is clever because the word has been changed to where we are not called African Americans. It's like everybody got their wish, you know? Me having Caribbean heritage, even Spanish heritage, but I don't speak patois and I don't speak Spanish. But patois is funny. It's like I speak English, but I don't. When I speak words in patois, it doesn't come out in the accent. It comes out in English. It's a thing. But then I don't speak Spanish, at least not now. And so therefore I'm not connected to the culture. I'm not connected to the Caribbean. I can't fully be Caribbean, though by DNA I am. And a lot of Black Americans have gone through this. I know a lot of Black Jamaicans, a lot of Black Haitians, and what they go through with their family is fucking disastrous. And so when I listen to everything, for people to just be like, we don't want nothing to do with y'all. And for Black Americans to be like, you know what, we're foundational Black Americans. Take African out of it. Ain't no more Africa. Even though some of us did come from there, we came from everywhere. Call us foundational Black Americans. This is better than the Moors telling everybody to call themselves white. To be called the foundational Black American is a powerful word. The word foundation holds power. And say foundational Black American. So that means that all of these people who are speaking up, I'm hearing accents now. Remember, I didn't hear nobody up north talking, but the up north people are talking a little bit, but they letting the South and the Midwest and the West Coast people talk, but the up north people are talking a little bit because we have a different dynamic of what we have to deal with. Because, like I said, there's a conflict because many of us have the DNA of immigrants from the Caribbean in us. You know what I'm saying? As well as being a part of being the Black American culture, and we do understand it. We're not dummies, and we also ourselves, because we're around this culture so much, we ourselves don't want to deal with Black Americans because of that DNA difference. But at the same time, we're wise enough to understand the white supremacy of it all. You get what I'm saying? So when I sit here and I hear these foundational Black Americans speak, I find it interesting how they are embracing now being a part of American history. Like I mean, not that I didn't know, but I was like, you can't talk about American history without Black history. There is no American history without talking about black history, whether even if the history is slavery, there's still slaves that did great things even while in slavery. And we also understand that some slaves were free, that there were court ordered papers for slaves to uh there's records of people who were put in slavery that had to fight for records to show that they were free. So there's a lot of things underneath slavery that we do not know, that we need to start really learning about, because the Moors was telling us about being free and being a sovereign citizen, how the Moors were free and they were never slaves and all this kind of stuff. We know that there's truth to that, especially if you read the books like Ivan Van Sertima, They Came Before Columbus and stuff like that. I've never read the book, but I'm very aware of him because I listened to a lot of his lectures. There's another book by a man who talked about rocks and the history of rocks, and he goes into the history of Black Americans and cultures and stuff. It's a real interesting book. Man, I forgot the name of that book. That was a book on my book list for a minute that I never got, because I always forget the name of that book. But he talks about the histories of rocks, and literally this man went around and studied rocks and told the history of what it says. But the thing is, people's narcissism and psychopathic mentality is being exposed. There's so many people who look like they can't even fight for themselves without the foundational Black American. And I'm not getting into that part. This is the main thing. The foundational Black American is understanding that when we look at the patriarchy, the Black man has a relationship with the white man. The Black man still has a relationship with the Black woman because he was enslaved with her, and or not, right? The Black man has a relationship with the white woman. The white woman has a relationship with the Black woman. So even though one group of people were slaves or free slaves, there's still a dynamic of a relationship over 400 years of what they had together. Get what I'm saying? So even when you have Abraham Lincoln, and we do understand his story and his fight, that he per se was not freeing slaves to free slaves. He was just basically saying there is no need for slaves anymore, because look where we are, look what we build, look what we come from. There is no need for a slave. That's where Abraham Lincoln comes into the picture, right? So we have that. Then we have the aspect of, for those of you who understand your history, you understand that that's what Abraham Lincoln was about. That's why he freed the slaves. He just said it was the 1800s, and 1800s was a very industrial time. This was also the time of Tesla. The reason why they took Tesla out is because Tesla said the future is female is a Tesla comment. That's a Tesla quote, because he was building something for what women are today. Okay, you got to study Tesla. He's dope. Got to study that man. He was way before his time. He was a Tesla was a Robert Johnson of his time. He just came to do what he had to do something incredible to give us a glimpse of the future, and then he was out of here. Then he was out of here. Moving forward, what I noticed with the foundational Black Americans is that they are bringing conversations to the table. The Black fatigue, Black people expressing their fatigue with other Black people and the behaviors. I had this conversation years ago on Blog Talk Radio. Said there's an elephant in the room in Black culture. And the elephant in the room in Black culture is like this elephant, and it has all these quotes and things that stuck to the elephant that needs to be talked about in Black culture. And so now that elephant in the room is being talked about. And you have a lot of Black people saying, I can't, Black people, we can't publicly critique, or we can't say nothing about what Black people are doing. We just can't do that. And that needs to change as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's another topic. I sit back and I've been just listening and observing. I listened to the Foundational Black Americans speak. Then I listened to the divestors speak. I listened to how they dig into the worst situations, scenarios, in people's lives. There's one divestor I don't hear for no more. I won't drop no names. I think they're going through a divorce with their non-white partner. You really asked me because I haven't seen them at all. Zero zilch, nothing with them. I was like, I think this person's going through a divorce. Even the last video they did, I could hear it in their voice. Yeah. There is a speaking up. There's a conversation being had on the table. And I think it's dope. I'm just sitting back watching it. Anyway, I am enjoying some twisted tea out of a glass, a wine glass, along with a cigar. Okay, yeah, okay. I am, what do they call that? Champagne dreams of beer money, but I actually don't have beer money. I could actually buy champagne if I wanted to. But I'm not buying no champagne. Maybe the weekend, I don't know. But I can't really buy no. This is something I treated myself to tonight because I needed that treat for myself and I'm about to go lay down. I roll this blunt probably like tomorrow morning after I take a shower and shit again, right? People who like to clean up or who like to shower after work, shower in the morning. People like me, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. It's been fun.